She's like when a little kid picks up a cat, it's just like bleh. So hopefully you are able to hear this, because right now we have children crying, roosters cock-a-doodle-doing, a dog barking at himself because he can't catch his own tail.
We're not even kidding.
Seriously,
we can't make this up.
This is seriously happening right now. There's a rooster, and then we have a gentleman driving around in a car with some type of message going up and down the street.
And we have this dog who was barking at us like crazy. And normally she's perfectly okay sitting in my lap like this, but we're up high right now. She's scared of heights, and she doesn't like to not be in control when she's near the edge. So she has her claws out.
She has her claws out like a CAT.
Yeah.
So this morning I had this great realization. I was thinking about what is it about Mexico that I really, really love. Since we've come here, it just feels like this is the place that we want to be. This is exactly what we were hoping to feel welcome here and enjoy the culture and the food and the people and just be free of all the things that were really, really at our cores making us unhappy in the US. I'm sure most people can agree to It's really hard to describe exactly what it is about Mexico's culture that makes it so great. So this realization that I had was that you aren't being put in a box here in Mexico like you are in the US. Jordan, you pointed out something about when people don't like something in the US, what happens?
A lot of people have this mindset in the US where they don't like something and they're like, we need to make a law. We need to make a law to ban this, to ban that. We need to make a law so people don't do this and so people don't cross the street here. When you have that mindset permeating through society, it just creates this whole culture of basically limiting your freedom. If everyone has that mindset, pretty soon you have a whole bunch of laws and you can't do anything.
Interestingly, in the US, we're told that we have all these freedoms, like freedom of speech, freedom of expression, all these different freedoms, but really, now that we've been here, it's pretty easy to look back and notice so many ways where our freedom is actually stunted, limited, and confined in ways that you just become so used to after a while that it contributes to being unhappy and not really being able to enjoy your life as much. So here, if you're like, I have great recipes, like family traditions and stuff that I can share with people, you can just pop up a food truck on the side of the road and start selling to people. If you want to create artesanias or handicrafts and sell them on the Malecon, you can absolutely do that. Things like that make it such a great place to be. And then in addition to that, something that we've noticed is we were climbing up to El Faro in Mazatlan, the lighthouse, highest lighthouse. There aren't any guardrails, even on places where you could literally fall to your death if you weren't being careful. But having that in society where you don't have guardrails and you don't have laws like that, it's basically just up to people to be responsible and take care of their own safety. It does give people a little bit more incentive and motivation to be responsible and not be idiots. So like you don't need a warning on an oven pizza that says remove plastic before putting it in the oven, because people will just use their common sense and know that there isn't really any recourse if they're an idiot and they cook their pizza in the oven with the plastic on.
I feel like we see that a lot with people driving here. When we first got here, driving around and seeing other people drive, it seemed like a crazy free-for-all, and everyone was just doing whatever the heck they wanted, cutting people off all the time. And
no blinkers.
Yeah.
I mean, there just seemed like there was almost no rhyme or reason to any of it, even though in reality it's organized chaos. I don't think we've seen a single accident the entire time of being here because people are present and paying attention and not on their phones and drive in a courteous way. Like if you see someone backing out, people will turn their flashers on and stop for that person to indicate to the people behind them that like someone's backing out, we're leaving space for them, and then they're gonna go along their way.
Yeah, there's other times when it doesn't seem so courteous, like cutting people off all the time, but that seems to be the norm here, and people are just used to that and they're expecting it at any moment. If you cut someone off, you're not going to get honked at, they're going to stop for you to come out.
And it almost seems like it's not as much of cutting people off or being cut off as it is just this chaos flow of traffic where it's expected that sometimes like you need to let people in and you need to put on your brakes so that traffic can continue to flow and it doesn't get all congested. But yeah, there is a certain type of magic being here in Mexico, the culture and the people, and of course the food. Delightful. Or delicious, as Jordan likes to always describe it.
Deliciousness? Deliciousness. Which is delicious. The food was delicious. Delicious. I need to learn some new adjectives.
but it is really hard to describe, and that was an epiphany that I had this morning, and hopefully that paints a better picture of one key difference between the U.S. and Mexico. Let's go. What are you doing? Come here. Okay. What are you doing? Let's go. What are you doing?